Hey everyone, given the Euros are going on, I thought it would be interesting to look at how the English Premier League, or EPL, makes money. So in today's video, we're going to look at the different ways in which the EPL makes money, how the EPL spends the money it earns, and then who ends up taking home the remaining profits at the end of the day. So to start off, the EPL makes money in three main ways: TV rights, ticket sales, and then sponsorships and selling merchandise. First, looking at TV rights, the EPL sells TV rights in a few different ways. The EPL is currently in a 3-year, $5 billion contract with Sky News, BT, BBC, and Amazon for the UK TV rights, and this brings the EPL in roughly $1.7 billion each year. The EPL also sells the right to broadcast the games internationally, one of the largest deals being the 6-year, $1 billion contract with NBC for the US TV rights. And finally, additional revenue is earned when selling the TV rights to stream the Champions League. And in total, for the 2018-2019 season, the EPL earned roughly $3.4 billion in TV rights, which represented roughly 57% of sales. Next, ticket sales. The amount of revenue teams earn from ticket sales can vary widely from team to team, with the top teams earning upwards of $150 million, and the teams towards the bottom of the league only earning roughly $5 million. And for the 2018-2019 season, the EPL earned roughly $750 million for ticket sales, which represented roughly 13% of total sales. Finally, the EPL also earns money from sponsorships and selling merchandise. Revenue from sponsorships is generated at the league level as well as at the individual team level. And merchandise sales include everything from the sale of team jerseys to hats to any other branded items. And for the 2018-2019 season, the EPL earned roughly $1.7 billion in sponsorships and merchandise sales, which represented roughly 30% of sales. And to sum everything up, through a combination of selling TV rights, ticket sales, and sponsorships and merchandise sales, the EPL generated roughly $5.6 billion during the 2018-2019 season. Now let's take a look at how the EPL spends the money it earns. The EPL has two main categories of expenses: salaries and wages, and then operating expenses. First, looking at salaries and wages, this includes the salaries for the players as well as the salaries for the training, ground, and administrative staff. However, a large portion of this is derived from the player salaries. And for the 2018-2019 season, the EPL generated roughly $3.4 billion in salaries and wage expenses, which represented roughly 61% of total sales. Next, looking at operating costs, these expenses include everything from marketing costs to maintain and grow viewership to the costs necessary to operate the stadium and training facility. And in total, for the 2018-2019 season, the EPL generated roughly $1.2 billion in operating expenses. And to sum up expenses, through a combination of salary and wage expenses as well as operating expenses, the EPL paid roughly $4.6 billion in expenses during the 2018-2019 season. Now putting it all together, the EPL makes money in three main ways: TV rights, ticket sales, and then sponsorships and selling merchandise. And for the 2018-2019 season, this accounted for roughly $5.6 billion in total sales. And then the EPL has two main categories of expenses: salaries and wages, and then other operating expenses. And for the 2018-2019 season, the EPL paid roughly $4.6 billion in total expenses, leaving the EPL with a remaining operating profit, or EBITDA, of roughly $1 billion. Now let's take a look at how this operating profit is split between the 20 EPL teams. The chart on the left shows the profitability of each EPL team, starting with the most profitable team for the 2018-2019 season, which was Manchester United, and ending with the least profitable team for the season, which was Everton. Now, the reason that there's such a wide gap in profitability between teams is because only a portion of the revenue earned by the EPL is shared equally between the 20 EPL teams, while a majority of the revenue is based on how much each individual team can bring in. The streams of revenue that are split equally between the 20 EPL teams include 50% of the UK TV rights, all of the international TV rights, and then a few sponsorship deals, while the remaining streams of revenue vary from team to team. Now, to sum everything up, the EPL makes money in three main ways: TV rights, ticket sales, and then sponsorships and selling merchandise. Then it has two main categories of expenses: salaries and wages, and then other operating expenses. And then the remaining profits is divided between the 20 EPL teams. Now, hopefully after watching this video, you have a better understanding of how the English Premier League makes money. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe below. And I look forward to talking to you guys again soon.